What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Buy Sell Cars TV. I remember you guys loved the video I done on a Volkswagen Polo when I bought it for 225, the hammer price. So I thought, it's been a little while, why don't I do another one, see if I can pick up an absolute bargain and do a video and show you guys the sort of car you can buy for little money and what to expect when you are buying it. So what I've done is, as the title suggests, I've bought another Polo for £200. That is a hammer price, but we're going to get into all the fees later on. So without further ado, let me jump out, give you a walk around of the car, show you the interior exterior. We're going to also give it a start up because this is a £200 car. There could be issues, but fingers crossed this is a good one. So let's jump out now. Let me give you a quick walk around. Right, so let's start over here, give you a quick walk around of the car. You know, honestly, I cannot believe that this was a £200 hammer price. To think the condition the car's in, like, you know, obviously it's 52 plate, it's, you know, 20 odd years old now, but see, you can't expect it to be perfect, but I'm not gonna lie, this car is in really good condition. You've got little marks over here, things you'd expect, minor little scratches over there, but honest to God, look at it, 200 quid. Can you believe it? It's not even clean yet and it's looking really nice. Quick overview of the outside, not a lot to see, but overall pretty good condition. Let's check the interior. So having a look inside, on first impressions, condition wise, it actually looks really good. Does need a little bit of a clean. Do I get it valeted? I don't know. The seats don't really look that dirty necessarily. I think it could just do with a good old hoover and getting the things like the dash and everything wiped down. But we'll see later on how we're going to get on with that. But just to give you the first impressions of the car, I think condition wise, it's not too bad at all. I'll throw a couple of close-ups of everything so you get a better idea. But front of the car, not too bad. Let's check the back as well. It's pretty sunny in here, so a lot of shadows, but you get an idea of the current state of the car. It's hard to say if I'm going to get this one valeted because it's not dirty. It's kind of borderline, so we'll have to see how we get along. But generally, just looking around here, it is pretty clean. Just needs a good old hoover. Let's jump in and give it the start up as well. Right, ignition on. Let's go for it. Car sounds really good. Yeah, car sounds really good. Right, what have we got on? So we've just got a petrol light on and the handbrake. But yeah, that's fine, just a handbrake light. Do you know what, one thing I forgot to do before I started the car, check the water and oil. So let me jump out, do that now. Right, so the water is looking good. Let's check the oil as well. Haven't got a tissue on me, but yeah, we've got some oil in there. I think it could do with topping up a little bit. It's just above minimum, but we're good for now. We can get it back home and get it topped up. So overall, first impressions of the car before we get driving, bodywork and interior. I'll be honest with you, really happy with this. It's better than I expected. Thumbs up so far on how that looks. It's just ridiculous to think that this is a £200 car. I know there's fees and other things involved, but really and truly, it's a £200 hammer price car. It's the cheapest you're going to find things in auctions. So to see that the car is running well, oil's okay, water's okay, I'm very pleased so far. What we're going to do now is get the camera set up, put some fuel in, head back home, and we're going to talk more about why I bought this specific Polo and obviously the plans with it, and just get more into the nitty-gritty of the plans of how I'm going to turn this car into a profit. So stay tuned. So, first impressions of pulling out of the auction, really good start. Clutch seems very good. Currently in third gear, car's driving very nice. I'm going to keep banging on about this in today's video, but I'm genuinely shocked that the price I paid for this car to how it's driving. This is such an entry point, right, where, you know, it can be tough to, you know, buy yourself a good car. So it's a good feeling when you go to the auction and something's a bit better than expected. Well, I say better than expected, but I kind of knew what I was getting myself into with this car. So why don't we get into why I bought this car and sort of the reasons behind this specific purchase. I guess the first obvious reason is I've done a video before where I got the Polo for £225. If you haven't seen that, click here to watch that video. Just to give you a bit of an idea on that video, I went to Blackbush auction, I bought a Polo online for £225, which was the hammer price. and I just showed that I bought it and I sold it for £1,000. And just spoke a little bit about the car and things I had to get done to get it ready for sale. So, but that was an interesting video, but I think this one might be more interesting because where used cars have now gone up in price, there's going to be more profit to be made on the car. Now, why specifically this car? It's a 52 plate Volkswagen Polo. It's done 128,000 miles. But for me, what stood out was it's a 2-owner vehicle and it had 17 services, 15 of which were from main dealer. So straight away in my head, that eliminated a lot of risk, because I thought if the car has been serviced throughout its life at main dealer, it gives me a bit of an insight, a bit of a background into this car. It tells me a little bit about the owner, that they probably like to spend a few quid on the car to make sure it's serviced correctly. I'm not saying that independents or other garages don't do a good job, but you know, if you are taking a car to the main dealer, especially when it is really old and the value's not that high, it does show that you have a bit of care to the car. Some people might say they disagree, and sometimes you are right, it can be good to go to independents, but just in this instance, buying a cheap car, having a lot of main dealer service history to me is a bonus, because it tells me a bit about the owner, a bit about the background of the car, and I think it adds value when I'm coming to sell it. So that stood out to me. The 2 owners is another fantastic thing, especially for a car that's over 20 years old. To have something which is 2 owners, absolutely fantastic. Now, MOT wise, it has got a decent MOT still, so it expires I think end of the year or start of next year, so you're probably looking at, you know, 4 to 5 months or so. Generally, I do like to have sort of minimum of 6 months MOT on a car. For the purpose of this video and in consideration of the price of the car, there was a bit more flexibility on my side. In that respect, could I get the car MOT'd? Yes, I could, but could I sell it as well as it is? Yes, I can. So these are all things that by the time I get home, I'm gonna have a think about, see how the car drives, see if anything needs doing to it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a part 2 video where I'm gonna discuss all of the costs that were involved in buying this car, as well as getting it prepped for sale, and then talking about the actual final sale price, so you get to see the actual profit made from this car, because I know that's what's really important. All you guys want to see how much money can be made from a car of this value. This is the entry point to buying and selling cars. I'm not saying you're going to get these deals all the time. However, this is proof to show you these deals are available out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pop up on the screen, if I haven't already, to show you this is legit. This is the price I paid for the car, so you can actually believe me. But look, overall, my first impressions, you've seen the exterior, you've seen the interior, it does look very, very good. The car's driving very, very well. I'm about 10 minutes into my journey back, and so far, everything's great. It's not overheating. The car has no unwanted noises or sounds. If anything, it drives really, really good. The suspension feels great. The seats are comfortable, clutch is good. So overall, I'm super happy so far about how this has gone. Hopefully that's given you a good introduction into this car, into the first impressions of how it's driving, and just to show you what it's like getting a £200 car from the car auction. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end part 1 here. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also turn on bell notifications, because when I do the part 2, you're going to want to stay tuned for that one, where we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and talk about profit, cost, all the fees involved, so you get to see exactly how much money was made from the initial £200 bid on this car. So stay tuned, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care, guys.